Why is the Panama Canal a modern marvel? Because it changed the course of trading and transportation in the world. It's important because the Panama Canal shortens the trip from 13,000 miles to 5,200 miles. The canal cuts off a couple weeks of travel time and many tons of fuel. It's extremely important to our Navy and vital for world trade.
When the Panama Canal was opened in 1914, it revolutionized the international shipping traffic between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. The 77-kilometer-long canal is fed by fresh water pouring in from 17 artificial lakes and consuming 3 times more water per day than Los Angeles. With the projected expansion of the canal, even more water is needed. In recent years, water shortages have already forced the canal to be closed on several occasions. In the future, extensive droughts and increasing El Niño events are likely to reduce the water resources even further. This would have a huge impact on the world's shipping traffic and on the economy of Panama.
What was life like for the workers of the Panama Canal? Life was very rough for the Panama Canal workers. A lot of workers got malaria, and they feared getting yellow fever, but a lot of people died of yellow fever anyway. The conditions were very hot. In the early 1850s, the Panama Railroad Company imported thousands of African and Chinese workers to lay the tracks for the railway lines that would make the construction of the Panama Canal possible. But most would die of suicide.
When asked about his plans for Panama in 1904, an ebullient Teddy Roosevelt declared, "I'm going to make the dirt fly." But first, he sent an Army doctor, Colonel William Gorgas, to eliminate the yellow fever epidemics that had doomed earlier French efforts. Gorgas declared war on the local mosquitoes, and within a year, the yellow fever threat was gone. Then, workers under the command of Colonel George Washington Goethals blasted and dug their way through the Cordillera Mountains, carving a 9-mile-long canyon called the Culebra Cut. For over 6 years, the giant steam shovels dug without pause, filling a railroad car every 8 minutes. The trains rolled as far north as the mouth of the Chagres River, where their loads were used to build the gigantic earthen Gatun Dam. Lots big enough to lift battleships were built at the Atlantic and Pacific ends of the canal. Finally, on June 27th,
What is the Panama Canal used for today? The Panama Canal is used for a number of things, but the most important thing it's used for is it's a shorter route for ships trying to get between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Those can be tourist ships, but mostly cargo-carrying ships. It's also used for tourism, trade, and environmental studies.